Hi guys, welcome to a new video. In this video I'll be showing you some of the most common mistakes that Geoguessr players make and how to fix them. So let's begin. The first one here is a very common one, probably the most common 50-50 in the game, I would argue. And that is Czechia versus Slovakia. Now it's really hard to tell these countries apart sometimes, but one of the ways that you can tell them apart is by looking at the car color. As you can see, here we have a red car, and in Generation 4 camera, this is only going to be in Slovakia if you are between Czechia or Slovakia. So Czechia does not have a red car. As you can see, Slovakia can also have a blue car, and the same goes for Czechia, but the red car is only found in Slovakia. So if you have a 50-50 between those two countries and you see a red car, you're going to be in Slovakia. Okay, so the next mistake is not knowing this specific antenna. I see a lot of players not knowing this meta, and it's a pretty useful one. If you see this antenna at the back of the car, it has like a big bulge. It's like kind of bulky compared to the regular antennas. So as you can see here, we have a standard Greek antenna, and here again is the bulgy antenna. So this antenna is very useful because the only place you can find this antenna is the island of Crete. So if you see this antenna, you're 100% going to be there. A very useful tip to know. Here we are in Spain now, and sometimes people can mistake Spain for Portugal, which is reasonable because those two countries can look very similar. But a very good tip for differentiating them is this hunting sign. So these are very common in Portugal and Spain, and in Spain you'll have this like squared sign with black and white colors, and in Portugal you will have this like red, white, red sign. So a very useful tip to tell these countries apart. Okay, here we are in South Africa now. A lot of people can mistake South Africa for Botswana since they tend to look very similar. Like for example, this is South Africa, but it does look kind of similar to Botswana. But you're never going to see Generation 4 camera in Botswana. And the same goes for Lesotho and Eswatini. Out of all these, South Africa is the only one that has Generation 4 coverage. So the next mistake that I see very often is not knowing the difference between Macau and Hong Kong. So here we are in Macau, and it does look like Hong Kong, but there's a big difference. It's all Gen 2. So if you see all Gen 2 and it looks like Hong Kong, then you're going to be in Macau. And here is the regular Gen 4 Hong Kong coverage. You can also see Gen 3 sometimes in Hong Kong, but the majority of it will be Gen 4. Okay, here we are in Malaysia now, and a very common mistake that people make in Malaysia is not knowing the pole tops for Borneo Island. So here we have a Sarawak pole, and Sarawak pole basically has this like a bar that goes on top. So it looks like an upside down letter T, and it also goes like slightly under. So when you see this attachment bar, you're going to be in Sarawak. And here we have a Sabah pole. As you can see, you have these two bars that are like parallel to each other. This is like unique to Sabah, and these are very useful for telling apart Sabah from Sarawak, but also Borneo from mainland Malaysia. So again, if you see this pole with this bar attached on top, you're going to be in this province of Sarawak. So basically from here all the way to here. And if you see this pole with these two bars, you're going to be in this province of Sabah. Here we have this very specific location. So we have these Thailand bollards. We have this single yellow line driving on the left side of the road. However, this is not Thailand, and you believed me for a second there. Maybe you didn't. However, this is not Thailand. This is Sumba Island. And that brings me to our mistake. Actually, we have two mistakes in this one location. The first is that I see a lot of people not knowing about this specific pole top, which is specific to Lesser Sunda Islands. So that's basically from Lombok here all the way to Timor. So when you see this bar that goes from like here all the way to the end, so all of these islands have this pole top. And the other mistake is thinking that these bollards are Thailand specific, when as you can see, you can find them in places like these. So yeah, when you see this bollard, look for other clues, don't just insta-send Thailand. And finally, the last mistake that I see players make is going Cambodia on Generation 4 camera. So if you see a regular Generation 4 camera and you're thinking of Cambodia or Thailand, you're going to be in Thailand because Cambodia doesn't have Generation 4 camera. Actually, it does have Generation 4 camera, but it's always going to be shit cam. So if you see shit cam, you're in Cambodia, and if you see a regular Generation 4 camera, you're going to be in Thailand. And that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.